Alright, in this video, we're going to learn how we can use ng bootstrap in Angular application, how to customize the ng bootstrap in Angular application. So let's begin. So let's go to the Visual Studio Code. Let's go to the global style sheet. And if you scroll down, if you remember, we have added this style for JW pagination. So let's get rid of this. And let's save this. And if you take a look at the browser, you can see our pagination selector has moved to the left side of the web page. So now let's add a styling to this pagination. Let's go to the ng bootstrap documentation. You can go to the example section, and if you scroll down, you can see the pagination alignment section. So you can align the pagination in 3 different places: left, right, and in the middle. So let's go to the code section, and you can see they have added this class justify minus content minus end. So let's take a copy of this class. Let's go to our Visual Studio Code. Let's add a class and paste the classes which you have copied. Let's save this. And if you take a look at the browser, you can see now the pagination has moved to the right side of the web page. Alright, I would like to show you one more thing. So let's go to the Visual Studio Code and go to the booklist.component.ts file. So I'm going to set the page size to 1. To demonstrate something, I'm going to set the page size to 1. Let's save this. And if you take a look at the browser, and you can see now in web page, it is displaying a 1 record, and you can see in the pagination we have a 10 pages. Just imagine if we have a 10,000 records and how many numbers or how many pages it will display in the web page. Okay, so as the number increases, it may go off the screen. The pagination may go off the screen. So to avoid that, we're going to set the maximum page size in our pagination selector. So let's see how we can fix that. So let's go to the documentation, and if you go to the API section, you can see we have a special input property which is a max size, the maximum number of pages to display. So we can use this property to set the maximum number of pages to display in a pagination component. So we can set this in a two different ways. So one is by adding the ngB pagination configuration in our component, or we can add this maximum size in our view template. So let's see the other way, because we have already seen how we can set it in the view template. So now let's see the other way. So inside the booklist.component.ts file, I'm going to import the ngB pagination. So add ng minus bootstrap slash ng minus bootstrap. I'm going to import the ngB pagination config. So within our constructor, I'm going to inject the ngB pagination config. So inside the constructor, I'm going to make use of this config _config dot, and you can see we can set a different properties: boundary links, direction links, disabled, ellipse, maximum size. So let's use the maximum size, and I'm going to set this to 3. So let's save this. And if you take a look at the browser, and you can see the maximum number of pages are displaying in the pagination selector is 3, and you can see the dot and the last page. So the whole idea is that instead of displaying all the pages, we can set the maximum page to display it in the web page. Alright, I would like to show you one more thing, which is the boundary links. So the boundary links, makes the application a bit more interactive, like it will add a first page and the last page. You can see if we set it to true, we can display the first page and the last page links in the pagination selector. So let's go ahead and add this boundary links. Again, you can add this boundary links in two different ways. One is in the view template and other one is in the component. So let's use the second approach. So inside the constructor, we're going to make use of this config variable, config.boundarylinks, and I'll set this to true and save this. And if you take a look at the browser, and you can see we have two more extra links, that is the first page and the last page. So now we are in the first page. So if you want to go to the last page, you can click this double greater than arrow sign. So that will take us to the last page. So you can directly navigate to the first page by clicking on this first link. So this is about the boundary links. So we can literally customize these links as well. So instead of displaying the arrow, we can display the next, last, and first, and previous. So like that we can display. So let's look at how we can customize that. So let's go to the documentation. And go to the example section. If you scroll down, you can see we can customize the links. Instead of displaying the arrow symbols, we can display previous and next. So let's go to the code section. So let's copy this ng minus template. So let's copy this. Go to the bookgrid.component.html. Within the ngb minus pagination, we're going to add the ng minus template. So let's save this. And if you take a look at the browser, you can see we have this previous and next instead of the arrows. Similar way, we can also add it to the first and last pages. So let's take a copy of this and paste it in the down. And let's change this to first instead of previous. Let's change this to last. And let's change the text first and last. So let's save this. And if you take a look at the browser, so now we have the text first and last and previous and next. So this looks much better than the previous one. So this is how you can customize this ng bootstrap. You can go ahead and read the documentation and play around with this. Now let's go back to the booklist.component.ts file. I'm going to set this back to 5. So let's save this. And you can see now we have 5 records in each page. Alright, this is about customizing the ng bootstrap. So go ahead and try yourself for a few more properties. So in the next video, we're going to make a few more improvements to this application. So that is coming up in the next video. I will see you in the next video.